Hello and Jai Swaminarayan to all. As you all know that in our standard 9 science chapter 9 is completed, and today we are going to solve some of the questions of exercise of chapter 9 force and laws of motion. So let's start solving some questions. The first question that we are going to solve is question number 5. The question is that a truck starts from rest and rolls down a hill with a constant acceleration, and it travels a distance of 400 meter in just 20 seconds. Find its acceleration, find the force acting on it if its mass is 7 tons. Means we have to find the acceleration of the truck and also find the force that is acting on the truck if the mass is 7 tons. And we have also given a hint that 1 ton is equals to 1000 kg. Now let's look at the answer. We have given the distance of truck that is covered by truck is 400 meters, means truck covered 400 meter, and also the time seconds that are required to cover that distance. So distance covered by truck is 400 meter and the time taken by truck to cover that distance is 20 seconds. And initial velocity was rest, so initial velocity is 0 since it starts from rest. Now we have the equation of motion as S is equals to u multiply by t plus 1 by 2 multiply a multiply t square, means u is our initial velocity, t is our time taken, then a is our acceleration. So equation of motion is this, and therefore we have the value of s. S is our distance covered, so s is 400. So we'll substitute all these values in our equation, so we'll get the equation as 400 will be equal to 0 multiplied by 20 seconds. 0 is our initial velocity, 20 seconds is time taken, plus 1 by 2 a. We don't have value of a, we have to find it, so 1 by 2 multiplied by a multiplied by 400 seconds where, and by solving this equation we will get answer of acceleration as 2 meter per second square. So the acceleration of truck will be equal to 2 meter per second square. Now the another thing that we have to find is the force acting on the truck if the mass of the truck is 7 tons. So for that, as per second law of motion, the formula of force is equals to mass into acceleration. Now we have the value of mass as 7 tons, and as 1 ton is 1000 kg, we'll have 7 tons as 7000 kg, and also we found the value of acceleration as 2 meter per second square. So we'll get the value of force is equals to 7000 kg multiplied by 2 meter per second square, which will be equals to 14,000 kilogram per meter square, or we can say it is equals to 14,000 Newton. As you know, the N is for Newton, and therefore a force of 14,000 Newton is acting on the truck. So the value of our acceleration is 2 meter per second square, and the force that we found is 14,000 Newton that is acting on the truck if mass of the truck is 7 tons. So this is our solution for question number 5. Now we will move to next question. Our next question is question number 7. According to the question, a 8000 kg engine pulls a train of 5 wagons, each of 2000 kilogram, along a horizontal track. Means we have an engine of 8000 kilogram which will pull 5 wagons, and each of the wagon is 2000 kilogram along a horizontal track. If engine exerts a force of 40,000 Newton and track offers a friction of 5000 Newton, then we have to calculate two things. First is the net accelerating force, and second is the acceleration of the train. So let's try to solve this. For our solution of A, which is the net accelerating force, it is given that force exerted by the train, say F, is equals to 40,000 Newton, which is already given in the question, and force of friction is also given as 5000 Newton. Here the negative sign indicates that the force is applied in opposite direction. Means we all know that when our object is moving, the friction will be working in opposite direction. So minus 5000 is for negative sign. Means it indicates that force in opposite direction. So we'll take force of friction as minus 5000 Newton, and therefore the accelerating force is equals to sum of all forces, which is 4000 Newton plus minus 5000 Newton, which will give us answer as 35,000 Newton. Means in order to calculate the next net accelerating force, we have to add all the force that we have, means sum of all the forces, that will be 35,000 Newton. So the net accelerating force is 35,000 Newton. Now for B, we have to find the acceleration of the train. So it is given that total mass of the train is equals to mass of engine plus mass of each of the wagon. Means we have to calculate mass of every wagon as well as the engine, and we have it as 8,000 kg plus 5 multiplied 2,000. Why we multiply 5 with 2,000? Because we have 5 such wagons and each wagon weigh 2,000 kg. So we'll have 8,000 kg plus 5 into 2,000 kg to find the mass of the train, which will give us answer as mass of train is 18,000 kg in total. Now as per the second law of motion, we have force is equals to mass into acceleration, or if we have to find acceleration, then the m mass, which is in multiplication with a on right hand side, will go in the division with f if we move it to left hand side of the equation. So we'll have a is equals to f divided by m. We have value of force as the 35,000 Newton and value of mass as 18,000 kilogram. So we have acceleration of train is equals to net accelerating force divided by total mass of train, which is equals to 35,000 divided by 18,000, which will give us 1.94 meter per second square, and hence the acceleration of the train is 1.94 meter per second square. So the solution for A, net accelerating force is 35,000 Newton, and for B, the acceleration of the train is 1.94 meter per second square. So this is our answer for question 7. Now we will move towards our next question. The next question that we are going to solve is question number 18, according to which we have to find the momentum of a dumbbell of mass 10 kg transfer to the floor if it falls from a height of 80 cm. Means how much of momentum will a dumbbell of mass 10 kg transfer to floor if it falls from a height of 80 cm and take its downward acceleration to be 10 meter per second square. Means here we have given downward acceleration as 10 meter per second square. So we have given the mass of dumbbell m is equals to 10 kg and the distance covered by it is 80 centimeter, or we can say 0.8 meter. Initial velocity we don't know, it is 0 if it is we assume that it is dropped from a position of rest, and acceleration we have given as 10 meter per second square. Initial velocity is equals to 0 and the terminal velocity v we have to find it, and momentum of dumbbell when it hits the ground is equals to m multiplied by v, means mass multiplied by terminal velocity. And as per the equation of third law of motion, we have the value of v square minus u square is equals to 2 into as, means terminal velocity square multiplied by initial velocity square is equals to 2 multiplied by acceleration multiplied by the distance covered, and hence we'll get v square minus u square. We don't have value of v square, but we have value of initial velocity u. So we'll have, when we substitute the values in this equation, we'll have v square minus 0 is equals to 2 multiplied by 10 meter per second square multiplied by 0.8 meter. And when we'll solve this equation, we'll get the value of v square as 16 meter square per second square. And as we have v square, if we take root in order to find value of only v, we have to take root on right hand side, and when we do this, we'll get the value of v is equals to 4 meter per second square, and hence the momentum that is transferred by dumbbell to the force will be equal to 10 multiplied by 4. Means here we find only the value of v. We already have mass, but we have to find the value of v, and we know that to find the momentum, we'll have formula of momentum is equals to m into v. So we'll get value of v by solving the equation of third law of motion. So the momentum transferred will be equal to mass into the terminal velocity, which is 10 into 4, which is equals to 40 kilogram per meter per second. So the momentum transferred by the dumbbell is 40 kilogram meter per second. Now we will move to our next question. The question that we are going to solve now is the question from additional exercise, question number A3. The question is that a hammer of mass 500 gram is moving at 500 meter per second strikes a nail. Means when a hammer of 500 gram is moving at speed of 500 meter per second, it strikes a nail. The nail stops the hammer in a very short time of 0.01 seconds. What is the force of the nail on the hammer? Means here the nail stops the hammer in time 0.1 second, and we have to find the force of the nail on the hammer. We have, let's see the answer. We have already given the mass of hammer m is equals to 500 gram, which is also we can say 0.5 kg. The initial velocity of hammer is 50 meter per second, sorry, 50 meter per second. The terminal velocity of hammer v is equals to 0, means when the nail hits the hammer stops. So the terminal velocity of the hammer v is 0, and the time period it take to stop is 0.01 seconds. So from this, the acceleration of hammer is given by a is equals to v minus u by t. We have the formula for acceleration is equals to v minus u by t, which is equals to, substituting the value that we have got in the equation, is 0 minus 15 meter per second, means the terminal velocity v 0 minus 50 meter per second, which is our initial velocity, divided by time, which is 0.01 second. So we get the acceleration as minus 5000 meter per second square. Therefore, the force that is exerted by the hammer on the nail F is equals to m into a can be calculated as F is equals to 0.5 mass of the hammer. 0.5 multiplied by minus 5000 meter per second square means acceleration that we find. So force is equals to 0.5 multiplied by minus 5000 meter per second square, which is equals to minus 2500 Newton. Why we get the value of acceleration is minus 5000? Because we are minusing 50 from 0, means 0 minus 50 will get minus 50, and by solving that we will get the answer is minus 5000 meter per second square. So the value of force will also be negative, which is minus 2500 Newton. Now as per the third law of motion, the nail exerts an equal and opposite force on the hammer, means the nail will also exert the equal amount of force and in opposite direction on the hammer. And since the force that is exerted on the nail by hammer is minus 2500 Newton, then the force exerted by nail on the hammer will be plus 2500, means as I said that the nail exerts equal amount of force but in opposite direction of the hammer. So if we get the force of hammer on nail as minus 2500 Newton, then we'll get the force of nail on hammer as plus 2500 Newton. So the answer of force of the nail on hammer is plus 2500 Newton. So this was our solution for question A3, means the question number 3 from our additional exercise. So these are the few questions that we solved from the exercise. Then other remaining question, you try to solve it by yourself. And if you got any query, then just ask me. Thank you.